Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing the end of the year book tag. I saw Reagan from Peruse Project do this not too long ago, and I thought that it was a really cool tag, and I really wanted to share my answers to these questions with you guys. And I also thought that this would be a good way to break up my update videos for University Readathon 2017. So let's get into it. So I have the questions on my phone. The first one says, are there any books that you started this year that still need to finish? So I have two that fall into this category, one for sure, one kind of. So the first one is the kind of. It is Patrick Rothfuss's The Name of the Wind. This is one that I had actually started in August, and I had just gotten caught up with competency exams and school in general, and I had put this by the wayside, and I finally picked it back up for University Readathon, and I am on page 568 of 720. So I actually will be probably finishing this in the next few days for University Readathon, but up until that point, this was one that was definitely sitting on my desk in the office unfinished, and I'm super glad that I picked it up again because it is amazing. He is such a talented author. The other one that is truly something that I have not finished and something that I probably won't finish in 2017 is Alexander Hamilton by Ron Chernow. This is the biography of Alexander Hamilton that inspired Lin-Manuel Miranda to write the musical Hamilton, and I have just been slowly working my way through this nonfiction book. It is very dense and it's super information packed. It's super interesting. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think that Ron Chernow has written a fabulous biography, but it definitely takes time to read, and I've been reading it just little bits here and there when I'm ever really in the mood to read nonfiction outside of school, because I am studying to be a social studies teacher, so this is right at my alley, but I do a lot of reading like this for class anyway, so I tend to read things that are not historical nonfiction because it's just a part of my everyday routine for school. But this is something that I still haven't finished, and I probably won't finish in 2017. So question number 2 says, do I have an autumnal or winter read to transition me through the rest of the year? So I have one for sure. I think there are others that I could possibly put in this category, but I'm choosing Holiday Murder by Leslie Meier. This is actually a bind-up of 2 of her stories. The first is Mistletoe Murder, which was the first Lucy Stone mystery, and then Christmas Cookie Murder. These are both cozy mysteries by this author, and I think in previous videos I said I had never read anything from her until I read Trick or Treat Murder, but that was actually not the case, and I just didn't realize it until I was looking on the inside of this book, and it said, read more from Leslie Meier, and it lists Candy Cane Murder and then Gingerbread Cookie Murder, which were books that she co-authored with Joanne Fluke. And I actually have and own Candy Cane Murder, and I've read this, and I've also read the Gingerbread Cookie Murder. I just don't currently own a physical copy of it. So I guess I just didn't realize that, but it's kind of cool to know that I had actually read something from this author. It just was mixed in with a book from my favorite cozy mystery author, who is Joanne Fluke. So it was pretty darn cool, actually. And I kind of want to go back and maybe even reread Candy Cane Murder as another autumnal winter transition book because same author. So that's kind of cool. Then question number 3 says, are there any upcoming releases you're still anticipating and waiting for? And honestly, I'm not sure that there really are any more releases in 2017 that I'm super excited for, and that's okay. I mean, I find out about a lot of new releases from listening to other booktubers' videos, and so far I just haven't heard of anybody talking about a book that's just stood out to me as something I'm excited for that's going to be releasing in November or December. However, I am super excited for Raspberry Danish Murder, which is being released in February of 2018 by Joanne Fluke. It is the 22nd book in her Hannah Swenson series, and I'm I could not be more excited because the last book in her series, which was Banana Cream Pie, ended on a cliffhanger, and I have been anxiously awaiting to figure out what happened, and February cannot get here soon enough for me to figure out how things are really going down with this story. So, number 4 says, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? And I'm a big mood reader, so there's probably other books that will pop up on my radar from my shelves over the next month or 2, but these are 3 that right now I know that I do want to read. And the first of those is Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, The Hammer of Thor, which is book number 2 in this series. And I really enjoyed Rick Riordan's writing in the Percy Jackson series, but this series, I am just now head over heels with his writing. I think that the characters in this are just so perfectly made to be in a story together, and I love that there's such a diverse, interesting group of people. And on top of that, I feel like I am learning something about Norse mythology whenever I read this, because my only exposure to it really prior to this has been the commercialized version that we see in the Thor movies, and that is totally not what it is in real life. And even this, I'm sure, is a version of it that works best for the storytelling for Magnus Chase, but I just really loved the first book, and I cannot wait to get into the second one because I know the third one's already out, so I'm even behind in reading this. My second book that I would really like to read in the last couple months is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Now, obviously, I have read this multiple times already, but I am still finishing up a reread of this series, and this is the last one that I have to read for that. I could have gotten to this a while ago because I'd finished Half-Blood Prince a month or 2 ago, but I got Harry Potter and the Illustrated Edition for my birthday, and I actually just finished that a couple days ago for University Readathon, and I loved reading the illustrated version, and so I don't regret stopping my reread to go back and read the illustrated Sorcerer's Stone, but I am super excited to give Deathly Hallows another read through. This one always makes me cry, and I need to be emotionally prepared to read this, but I'm excited to sit down over Christmas break when they're playing all of the Harry Potter movies on, marathon kind of schedule, and just dive back into this beautiful world that we have been given in this series. Then the last one that I would really like to get in 2017 is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. This is a historical fiction novel set during World War II, and it follows 2 different characters' storylines, and I'm sure they probably converge at some point, but I have heard nothing but good things about this book from students in my practicums as well as teachers from those practicums who give this as a Maymester book study, as well as they allow their students to read this as independent historical reading, and I'm just super excited to pick this up. I love historical fiction from this time period, and I'm sure that this is going to be an absolute awesome favorite book for 2017 if I get to it. Number 5 says, is there still a book you think could be a sleeper and make your list of top books for the year? For me, that's probably going to be All the Light We Cannot See. However, right now it's going to have to try and beat out Wonder by R.J. Palacio, and these are like comparing apples to oranges. I'm not sure you really can compare them in that sense. So these two, if I get to All the Light We Cannot See and I love it as much as I think I will, they could end up tied for first because they're just too different of genres to be able to say one is really better than the other. I think they stand the chance of taking top place in their respective genres. Then number 6 is the last one. It says, have you already started making reading plans for 2018? And prior to watching Reagan's video and then thinking about this question for myself, I hadn't really started to make reading plans for 2018. I'm going to be student teaching next semester, so I don't really know how much time I will have to read from January through May. However, there's still many months in the rest of 2018 that I will have a chance to read. And I sat down and I really thought about it, and there are several plans now that I actually have for reading in 2018. And the first one is to pick up the next 2 illustrated editions for Harry Potter, Chamber of Secrets, and The Prisoner of Azkaban. I just had such a fabulous time reading the first illustrated edition, and I just can't wait to experience those stories again with the illustrations. And then my second plan is just to read more of my cozy mysteries. This whole lower shelf right here is cozy mysteries, as well as most of my Joanne Fluke books are on the very top shelf. And so I'm just very excited to sit down and start reading through some of these, experiencing new authors, experiencing new series from some of my favorite authors, and just explore this genre more and more. I'm finding that I have a true love for these books, and it's just been so much fun to share that with you guys here on YouTube, because before that I had not met a single soul other than one friend from middle school that had read cozy mysteries. My next plan is to finish the Inheritance cycle. So all I have left is Inheritance by Christopher Paolini. I had read the other 3 books between middle school and high school, and so probably what I will do is read a detailed plot summary for books 1 and 2, and then reread Brissinger, which is number 3, and then read this, because I feel like I do actually remember a lot of books 1 and 2, and I read book 3 so fast that I don't remember as much of it, and so I think that's the one that I really need to go back and reread from start to finish, and then I can get to this. This is an amazing fantasy series, and I can't wait to get back into this wonderful world. And then my next plan is to pick up the next book in the Kingkiller Chronicles, which I think is what this is called, by Patrick Rothfuss, and that is The Wise Man's Fear, and that's book number 2. And we have book number 2 as well as a short story novella about Ari, which is one of the characters that we're introduced to in The Name of the Wind, and he still has not finished book number 3. So I really want to pick up book 2 and the novella, but I'm a little scared to do so, because if I read them quickly and then I love them as much as I think I will, I'm going to be left hanging and waiting until he finishes the 3rd book. But I mean, I get it. Like, I was reading through the dedication the other day, and he said, "And to my father who taught me that if I was going to do something, I should take my time and do it right the first time." And I think that that's really what he has done with these books, and it's what he's doing with book number 3. He wants it to be absolutely perfect when he gives it to us, and I can understand that. So I'm going to work on trying to be patient with him on the release of the 3rd book. Then my last plan for now is I really want to read both Villette by Charlotte Bronte and The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte. The Bronte sisters are some of my very favorite classic authors, and I have read several other books by this trio before, and I'm very excited to pick up these books sometime over the next year. So that is everything for the end of the year book tag. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and in the comments below, let me know what books you're looking to finish in the end of 2017, as well as some books that you're looking forward to in 2018. If you like these videos and you want to know when I upload more, please subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. That will make sure to let you know when those videos are uploaded. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you all later. Bye!